Uncle Beck.
I got photo.
Morning, sir.
May we all be on our feet as the Vice Chancellor procession walks into the arena for the 15th inaugural lecture of the National University of Nigeria. Senate members, fellows, principal officers, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, the guest lecturer himself, Professor Kamaluddin Ahmed Bello, Vice Chancellor, National Open University of Nigeria, concludes the academic procession. May we all listen, please. Distinguished invited ladies on the high table, it's my pleasure to bring before you the Vice Chancellor, National Open University of Nigeria, who is also the chairman of proceedings here today, Double Professor Abdallah Uba Adamu, a professor of science education and a professor of media and cultural communication. So you're welcome this morning. Let me also recognize members of the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria who are here seated. It's my pleasure to recognize the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of academics, Professor Joy Ehisi. It's my privilege also to recognize the bursar of the National Open University of Nigeria, Ernest Odega, a PhD in the making. Let me recognize expressly as well Professor Samaila Mante, Dean Postgraduate Studies, and let me also bring before your notice the host dean where the guest lecturer is coming from, Associate Professor Garnier Hoffman, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences. It's my pleasure to recognize and welcome as well the very special, like a birthday boy, permit me to use that, and that's the guest lecturer himself, the reason we're all gathered here, Professor Kamaldeen Ahmadu Bello, but not the Sadona Osakoto, who will be our guest lecturer today. Let me also recognize the Vice Chancellor, Bayes University, very close to us here, Professor Taidu Mamma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN. Sir, you're most welcome. Other respected guests seated here, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 15th inaugural lecture with the theme, Who is a Nigerian citizen? And this is the second time in the lifespan of the National Open University of Nigeria where we're having 3 inaugural lectures in a year, with the first being and the last being in 2015. All effort and thanks to the Vice Chancellor of the National Open University of Nigeria for this tremendous effort in resuscitating the culture of inaugural lecture. It is with great sense of honor at this very moment that I invite the Vice Chancellor, National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Abdallah Uba Adamu, for his remarks on this great occasion.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow colleagues. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you once more to another inaugural lecture at National Open University of Nigeria. As some of us know, technically speaking, your inaugural lecture should be delivered at the university where you got your professorship. But we are lucky that we have people who have come here and they are delivering their lectures here for us. So we are getting the benefit of their professorization, which their own home universities have lost. So we would like to thank you very much, Professor Kamal, and all the others who have done their lectures, especially my good friend Oba Okoronko, Mba Okoronko, OOF, OOC, OOK, OON. Who did one of the very first inaugural lectures, and of course, my good friend Professor Eishi, who has also delivered our own. So National Open University of Nigeria benefits from these excellent works that these professors have done in other universities. As the Nigerian expression says, monkey they walk, baboon they chop. We are chopping where they have done the work elsewhere, but we are getting the benefit of their experiences. So once more, you are very, very welcome. Today is Friday, and quite a few of us are going to the mosque for the prayers. Some go to the mosques earlier than others. So we'll try to make it as fairly brief as possible. We normally don't hold it on Fridays because of this reason. We normally hold it on Wednesdays or Thursdays. But unfortunately, this is how the circumstances found us because of the public holiday. So you are very, very welcome. The topic is a very interesting topic, and it is again something that is in the public domain, public sphere, because I don't think we are talking about Nigeria. There's nothing like Nigeria, but there are communities, and I think that is what the professor wants to talk about. People don't identify themselves as Nigerians. They identify themselves as Uhubo, as Fulani, as Kanuri, as Hausa, as something. The concept of collective Nigeria doesn't seem to be in our minds. And so this is what the lecturer is going to talk about. What is a citizen? How do you define a citizen? What are the parameters for defining citizenship? And do you call yourself a Nigerian first, or a Yoruba first, or a Fulani first, or whatever? So I think it is a very, very interesting thing. If you say this is an American citizen, You have to swear an allegiance to the United States of America. You have to swear an allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. That means you are an American citizen, even if you come from another place. There has to be that central point, that chiasma that connects you spiritually to the United States. So even if, let's say, you are Nigerian and the United States is at war with Nigeria, you can be a soldier on the Nigerian side, I mean on the American side, fighting Nigerians where you come from. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to kill your own people because you are now in another country? Or do you still see yourself as a Nigerian even though you have an American citizenship? I mean, these are the kind of debates and questions that the professor wishes to bring that up with. And Professor, being a typical northerner, has refused in all the things that I know he has written to call himself a professor. He doesn't want to do that. He always calls himself Kamal. So I will refer to him as he prepares himself. Kamaluddin Ahmad Bello was born on 22nd June 1965. He attended the National School of Salesmanship, Manchester, 1982. The University of Lagos, Akuka, 1985 to 1990, and graduated with a BA Education in Curriculum Studies. Ahmad Bello University Zaria with a postgraduate diploma in Public Administration and a Master of Public Administration by thesis at Bayero University in 1998. But he was clever enough to do an MSc in Political Science, because if he has done that MPA only, it won't allow him to do a PhD. So he did an MSc in Political Science at Osman Danfodio University in Sokoto 2002, where he graduated with a PhD in Political Science. He is widely published with over 30 journals and 2 textbooks, 6 textbook chapters in his credits. One of his classical works is titled Ideological Bankruptcy in the Political Practice of Nigeria, Genesis, Magnitude, and Consequences. Now this title is so difficult, nobody even understands what the title is all about. Only people like him, professors, will understand it. But we are used to that. We are used to professors coming here and telling us things we really don't understand. That's the whole idea. If you can't convince them, confuse them, so that people can become confused about what you are saying. He is currently working on another title, Godfatherism in the Politics of Nigerian Continuity and Change. He has supervised over 10 PhD theses and over 30 MSc dissertations. And that brings up the question, what's the difference between a thesis and a dissertation? At what point does the thesis become a dissertation? At BA level, an MA level, or a PhD level? Some universities say thesis, some people say dissertation, some people say long essay, and so on. But whatever the case, he has he has supervised students. So technically speaking, you are qualified to be a vice chancellor. Because if you have never supervised anybody, you cannot supervise a large organization. He was an honorary graduate assistant NYSC Ahmad Bello University Zaria 1990 to 91. Assistant lecturer, senior lecturer, Department of General Studies, Federal College of Education, Technical Bichi, Kano State. Senior lecturer, Department of Political Science and Administration, Adamawa State University, Mubi, 2003 to 2006. Senior lecturer, Department of Public Administration, Nasarawa State University, Kepi, 2006-2008. Associate Professor, Department of Public Administration, Kogi State University, Anyigba, 2008-2013. And Professor, Department of Political Science and Administration, Sokoto State University, Sokoto, 2013 to 2017. He was the Secretary General, College of Education Academic Staff Union, so he's a unionist. I wonder why he's not arguing that we should go on ASU. Federal College of Education Technical Bichi branch, National Secretary General, College of Education Academic Staff Union, 1996-1998, Head, Department of Political Science and Administration, and Dean, Faculty of Social and Management Sciences, Adamawa State University, Mubi, 2003-2006. He also participated in the National Training Program for Senior Managers of private and newly established state universities at National Universities Commission, Abuja, 25th to 27th June 2003. He participated also at the Needs Stakeholders Consultations for Social Science Academy of Nigeria in Chelsea Hotel, Abuja, He's a member of Committee on Staff Placement and Salary Adjustment, Adamawa State University, Mubi. He's a member of Academic Planning Committee, Adamawa State University, member Committee on Appointment and Promotion Guidelines of Staff, Adamawa State University, Mubi, member Major Contract Committee. Now, I like that one. Major Contract Committee, because I would like to be a member or a chairman of that particular committee so that we can help to develop the university effectively. Major Adamawa State University, Mubi, member Senate, Adamawa State University, Mubi, member Interim Postgraduate Committee, Adamawa State University, acting Vice Chancellor, Adamawa State University in 2004, and he's the editor Essentials of Public Administration, which I think is a journal. He's a Senate representative on Governing Council, Adamawa State University, Mubi, head Department of Public Administration, National State University, KEPI, and member Certificate Verification Committee, National State University, KEPI, visiting professor, Department of Political Science, Nigerian Turkish Dial University, Abuja, 2010-2016. He's also an external examiner in the Department of Public Administration, Kogi State Polytechnic, Lokoja, 2010. He's the head of the Department of Political Science, Deputy Dean and Dean of Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Sokoto State University, 2014-2016. Visiting professor, Department of Political Science, Yobe State University, Damaturu, 2014-2016. And he's an external assessor to 5 associate professors and 3 professors. He's an active member of the Nigerian Political Science Association, NPSA, at national and zonal levels. He's a founder of Association of Nigerian Public Administrators, ANPA. He's a fellow Economic and Financial Fraud Institute of Fraud Examiner. So he's quite close to EFCC. He works with them. EFCC is right across. So he's part of them. He's an ambassador of peace by the Interreligious and International Federation of Peace, November 2006. He's a fellow of the Institute of Corporate Executives of Nigeria, November 2007. And he loves volleyball. I wonder how he could do that, seeing that he's short. He likes table tennis, which is okay, but he also loves reading and writing, which is very clear from all the books he has written. He practices Orthodox Islam, which means he's a Sunni Islam. He's a normal Muslim. He's not Shia, he's not Sufi, he's not Boko Haram, he's not ISIS, he's not any of all those things. He's just a standard, straightforward, by the line, by the rule Muslim. He has more than 1 wife, but he didn't tell us how many there are. But in Orthodox Islam that he said he practices, you cannot have more than 4 wives. So the assumption is that he has 4 other rooms in addition to his own room. So he has 4 completely different other rooms that he rotates every day. And naturally, with 4 rooms, he probably has more than 4 children. But he's so shy, he doesn't want to tell us how many children produce in those beautiful rooms. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Professor Kamal Ahmadu Bello, who is a professor in the Department of Political Science, and currently is the Study Center Director at Ilorin in Kwara State, to present his 15th inaugural lecture. Professor Kamal, you are invited to kindly come and share with us all these experiences that you have had. But I think a lot of people here also have other rooms, so we can cut out the other rooms from the lecture and we can focus on who is a Nigerian citizen. Professor Kamal, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. theme of my lecture is, who is a Nigerian citizen? It's a question. And I will try to do justice to the question. And I would like to be brief, because as an Orthodox Muslim, I will go to the mosque. And some here too will like to go to the mosque. I start with the salutation. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished guests, colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen, it is with humility and elation that I stand before you today to deliver this inaugural lecture titled, Who is a Nigeria Citizen? This is destined to be the 15th inaugural lecture in this citadel of knowledge, baptized National Open University of Nigeria. It is the first inaugural lecture from the Faculty of Social Sciences of this university. It is indeed the first inaugural lecture in the Department of Political Science of this university. It is unequivocally the 6th inaugural lecture to be chaired by our amiable, admirable Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdallah Uba Adamu, GCON. My own GCON is Grand Commander of National Open University of Nigeria. As the Vice Chancellor of this potential great university, National Open University of Nigeria, Abuja. After the salutation, let me go to the preamble. Many thinkers point to the fact that concept of citizenship began in the early city-states of the ancient Greek, although others see it as primarily a modern phenomenon, dating back only a few hundred years. Polis, in Latin, means both the political assembly of the city-state as well as the entire society. Though there is a general view that citizenship in ancient times was simpler relation than modern forms of citizenship, because there was no any competition. However, it should be noted that the relationship among the citizens has not been fixed or static, but constantly changed within each society. Citizenship is based on the extent that a person can control one's own destiny within the group, in the sense of being able to influence the government of the group. Furthermore, the idea that citizenship is a proper end of government can also be traced back to the political thought of ancient Greeks. An Athenian citizen does not neglect the state because he takes care of his own household. Are we like that today? And even those of us who are engaged in business in the Athens society have a very fair idea of politics. Are we like that today? We regard a man in Athens states who takes no interest in public affairs, not as shameless, but as a useless character. And in few of us are originator, we are all sound judges of policy. That is the Athens society. Everybody is interested in politics. You don't leave the government and say, because of my family, I'm taking care of my family. Everybody participates in policy. A citizen, as a member of political community or state, is endowed with a set of rights and a set of obligations. Citizenship is therefore the public face of individual existence. People are able to participate in the life of their communities to the extent that they possess entitlements and responsibilities. Civil participation is in turn linked to the advance of constitutional government, as reflected in the extension of political rights and civil liberty. In his classical contribution to the study of citizenship rights, Marshall distinguished between 3 bundles of rights: civil rights, political rights, and social rights. Civil rights were rights necessary for the individual freedom. These include freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of movement, freedom of conscience, equality before the law, and the right to own property. Civil rights are therefore rights that are exercised within the society. They could be regarded as negative rights in the sense that they limit or check the exercise of government power. Political rights, on the other hand, which include the right to vote, the right to stand for election, and the right to hold public office, provide the individual with opportunity to participate in the political life of the society. The provision of political rights clearly requires the development of universal suffrage, political equity, and democratic government. The most controversial is that citizenship implied social rights that guarantee the individual a minimum social status and therefore provide the basis for the exercise of both civil and political rights. These are regarded as positive rights, as the right to live a life of a civilized being according to the standards prevailing in the society. Furthermore, citizenship denotes the status of an individual as a full and responsible member of a particular community. Citizenship is the product of a community where the right to rule is decided by a prescribed procedure which expresses the will of the general body of its members. While ascertaining their will, nobody is discriminated against on the ground of race, religion, gender, or place of birth. In addition, citizenship is status of a person recognized under the custom or law as being a member of a given society. While nationality is often used as synonym for citizenship in English, particularly in international law, though the term is sometimes understood as denoting a person's membership of a nation. Moreover, a person can be a citizen of a given place on different grounds. Usually, citizenship of one's place of birth is automatic. This form of citizenship by birth originated in England, where those who were born within the realm were subjects of the British monarch